Welcome, everybody, to the initial podcast episode. We're going to call this episode A. We're going to be doing a series of mini trailers introducing ourselves. Here's Allison Sinikowski, my younger sister. I'm Matt Sinikowski, older brother. Our podcast is called The Body Movement. B.O.D.Y is called Built on Developing Yourself. Our platform, our primary goal here is we're going to build a self-reliance educational program and curriculum for you to prevent injuries, minimize pain, and become conscious of how your body kind of works as one functional unit in everything you do through everyday life, through any activities that you might do. The wellness industry is one that kind of has gone through all these cycles throughout our lives of catchy fads, workout trends, diets, intermittent fasting, sleep habits. And this is becoming a habit as we've become more addicted to technology 24/7. And so while we're busier and more distracted, this infiltration of screen time and remote work and conference calls and everything that we do through the weekend has just become part of an accepted norm. And physical health and wellness continues to be harped on. Everyone's talking about it to maintain our sanity and overall wellness. But while we may work out or play sports or participate in CrossFit once a week, once we finish that, we're right back to the couch. We're right back to the office chair. We're into the car or the train or the Uber for a long commute. Our bodies were built to move. And so while technology and machinery and all this innovation has evolved at mind-numbing pace, our human body has not. Like, we're primal beings meant to walk, hunt, farm, carry, squat, run, twist, do all these things throughout the day. And so human ingenuity has allowed us as a species to lessen the risk that we have to take out in the real world. But you can't change the innovation. There's no innovation for changing the structure of our bones, our tendons, our muscles, and everything that makes our joints work together. So this shift as a species has kind of produced this lack of tapping into our primal state. And while we're educated on nutrition and vitamin and DNA, and we have all these advanced workout routines, this lack of movement has caused a lot of overuse and underuse injuries in our lives. And poor posture and corrective surgeries, unnecessarily addiction to opiates and painkillers. And we want to have the body movement be the core foundation of being able to correct all these issues in your life and kind of take the healthcare system or minimize the impact the healthcare system has in your life. And we're going to do that by educating you how your body moves and how it works together as one unit, and how no matter what your activity level, from a child up to an elderly senior citizen to an elite athlete in between, there's a series of things you can do no matter how active you are or what you do as part of your exercise regimen, where you can instill these principles in your life and supplement it to whatever you're doing to make sure that you live a pain-free life. And that's going to be kind of the core at what we're talking about here.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, big things that we have talked about is there's just an inactivity crisis, right?
Yep.
And I think one of my main goals is to, number one, make people aware of that and how and why and what impact that has on your body, not just from a day-to-day basis, but from those big issues, your diabetes, your heart diseases, your frailty as we get older.
Right.
Or another thing I love to say is that, lifespan is not equaling health span right now. So lifespan has gone up over and over the years, but health span is much less, right? We're getting sicker younger, and we're going, and when you get sicker younger, what good is another 20 years of life if you feel like crap and you can't do the things you like?
Right. Quality of life.
Quality of life. So,
Yeah.
Inactivity to me, and the training I've been through and a lot of the people I've been mentored under is by far the biggest movement. Has got to be forefront in what we do.
Yeah.
And it's just never talked about in so many aspects of the people that we trust the most.
Right. We get really fixated on these quick fixes because the world's become more convenient. And everyone's like, I have this pain. I have this nagging injury. I have this feeling that's wrong with my body. I have this thing that's nagging. We just want to go to the doctors. We want a quick, one prescription, one little quick fix, maybe one little stint of physical therapy. And then like, that's a wrap. And we just want to move on. And these series of quick fixes, and this is across the board, even for the people that are most knowledgeable again, we're going to be tackling elite athletes to your weekend warriors and your corporate people that are just golfing and running on the weekend. This problem kind of exists across the board. So moving your body as we were meant to move is going to be a foundational piece. And to explain the name of our podcast, B.O.D.Y, the body movement built on developing yourself. We're going to kind of provide a little bit of tough love to our listeners and our followers of take some personal accountability. We'll give you the tools. If you don't know how to do that, that's why we're here. That's why we're starting this podcast. But take some personal accountability. There's a bunch of things you can do on your own, in your home, at your gym, that will alleviate a lot of these problems. And we'll also educate you on how to deal with your doctors in the healthcare system. And again, the body movement, we're going to be talking about moving your body, but we want this to be a movement. We want people's mindsets to really change. And we want to point out a lot of flaws in the way that we tackle some of these issues going forward.
Yeah. I think you said, the quick fixes and the fads. And the other thing that really the healthcare system has done is train all of us right now to understand what's wrong with me, or think what's wrong with me. I need to know what's wrong with me. I need to know what's happening in my back. I need to know what's happening in my arm. Well, why don't we just focus on the positives and what you can do and, change some things? And if you don't feel it anymore, who cares what's going on? And we'll talk about that a lot from the imaging standpoint, and sometimes how imaging can be at your detriment. Yeah. And the other side you hit on was from the, socioeconomic standpoint to some degree. You see this on all levels. It's not, it's not unique. You have different things in different classes where, somebody who doesn't have access to healthcare might have a different set of problems and might have difficulty getting moving, but somebody who has as much access as they want and can do anything almost has too much, in that they can get to whomever they want and get whatever they want whenever they want it. And that's still not good, because, I have a guy right now who had a back surgery, and that's just because he had tangibility to the best back surgeon in the country. So why wouldn't he just go to him and get surgery to fix it? Well, okay, a lot is fixed, but a lot still needs to happen, to make him better. And that wasn't mapped out for this, and that's what I want people to understand is beyond what's wrong with you. Yep. There's so much that isn't wrong with you. Yep. And we need to harp and focus on that. And this is well known, and it's just not being done by our world right now.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us as an early viewer to the very first episode of the Body Movement Podcast. If you liked the conversation, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. This was a 4-part conversation, so this was just episode 1, 2, 3, and 4 should be out already on our channel, so be on the lookout for those. Subscribe, like them, and become an early viewer. And as we begin churning out more content and more videos here, we look forward to providing a ton of value to you going forward. Thanks, and we'll see you on the next one.